Noah Bennett was 14 years old when he learned how quickly the word family could disappear. The house had never truly felt like home. It was a narrow, aging place at the edge of a small rural town, paint peeling, porch sagging like it was tired of holding itself together. Still, for nearly 2 years after his parents died, it had been shelter. Not comfort, not love, just shelter. That night, the air inside felt heavier than usual. A game show murmured from the television. Leftovers sat cooling on the counter, forgotten. Noah stood in the hallway with his backpack already zipped, fingers clenched so tightly his knuckles were white. His aunt didn't raise her voice. Somehow, that made it worse. "You can't stay here anymore," she said, arms folded, eyes fixed past him. "We've done what we could," Noah swallowed. He had practiced words in his head, promises to be quieter, to work harder, to take up less space. None of them came out. "I can sleep in the garage," he said finally. His voice cracked. "Or the basement." "I won't be any trouble," his uncle sighed, the sound of inconvenience, not cruelty. "This isn't up for discussion. You're old enough to figure things out. Old enough." 10 minutes later, Noah stood on the porch with his backpack biting into his shoulder. The porch light clicked off. The door closed. The lock turned. The October night wrapped around him, cold and final. He walked. Past houses glowing with warm yellow light. Past windows holding lives he no longer belonged to. By the time he reached the edge of town, his legs ached and his chest felt hollow. He sat on a bench near the closed grain store and checked his backpack. 3 shirts, 1 pair of jeans, a toothbrush, a folded photo of his parents, and $5. $5. The next morning came gray and unforgiving. Noah slept behind the store, waking every hour to the cold. When daylight finally came, it brought clarity. He couldn't stay like this. That was when he saw the paper taped crookedly to the courthouse bulletin board. County auction, unclaimed property. Most people walked past it. Noah didn't. Near the bottom of the list was one final line. Abandoned structure, outskirts of town. Minimum bid, $5. Everyone knew the place. The old wreck. Kids dared each other to go near it. Adults spoke of it like a bad memory. Noah looked down at the cash in his hand, then back at the paper. He didn't feel brave. He felt decided. The auction was quiet and awkward. When the clerk called for bids on the abandoned house, no one spoke. Noah raised his hand. $5, he said. The gavel came down, sold. By sunset, Noah stood in front of what he had bought. The roof sagged, boards rattled in the wind, windows were empty holes. It smelled like damp wood and years of neglect. This was what $5 bought. That night, Noah slept inside anyway. Not because it was warm. It wasn't, but because sleeping outside felt worse. The days that followed were brutal, cold mornings. Empty stomach. Odd jobs in town, cleaning sheds, hauling boxes, working for food instead of money. People noticed him. Not with kindness, with curiosity. Then one afternoon, he stepped into the hardware store just to warm up. "You're the kid who bought the old place," the owner said. Noah nodded. The man studied him. "Name's Henry Lawson, you fixing it?" "I'm trying." Henry slid a box of bent nails and some twine across the counter. "Scrap, you can have it." Back at the house, Noah worked until his hands blistered. He cleared debris. Reinforced weak spots. Learned by watching, guessing, failing and trying again. Winter came early. The house fought him every step, boards cracked. Wind cut through gaps. One night, a rotted plank fell inches from where he slept. The next morning, Noah tore parts of the house apart so it wouldn't tear him apart first. People watched from the road, shook their heads. He won't last, but Noah stayed. The first heavy snow tested everything. The roof sagged but held. The walls groaned but didn't give. That night, Noah felt something new. Pride. Then came Christmas Eve. A storm rolled in fast and merciless. Noah was clearing snow when he saw movement through the white blur. A man, a woman, 2 children. Their car had slid off the road. One child barely responsive from the cold. Noah didn't hesitate. Inside, fire, blankets, slow warmth. The child cried, alive. They stayed through the storm, shared thin soup. Quiet words, gratitude that filled the space like heat. When they left days later, they told people, and people listened. Firewood appeared by the door, food left quietly, supplies donated without comment. The house became known as the lighthouse, because the light was always on. Years later, that broken house stood stronger. Noah grew up inside it, built more around it, never locked the door during storms. When asked why, he always said the same thing. Because I know what it's like to be out there. Sometimes the smallest light is enough to guide someone home.